Guess what? It works. Hi everyone. So in this video, I'm going to be, well, let me tell you a little story. We bought this property a couple years ago, and we noticed, my wife one day, she's walking by the pond and she saw a turtle shell, probably about 2 feet wide, and it was dead. And she didn't think anything of it. Well, about 6 months later, we noticed all these turtles showing up in the pond. So we think that that big turtle laid a bunch of eggs and somehow died, and then all these snapping turtles just started emerging. So we ended up just seeing all these turtles keep showing up and keep showing up and keep showing up. And we don't, we have a pretty good sized pond. It's not quite an acre, but it's a little more than a half acre, so it's probably about 0.75 acres. And I'm not saying like we have a little turtle problem. We have like 30 or 40 turtles that are just out there sunbathing any given moment when you walk by. So there's at least 30 to 40 of them that we know of. There's probably more. Now there's fish in there, but the fish population won't stay that high if there's that many turtles, so it's harder to fish. And I want my kids to be able to swim in there, and I don't want them to go in there right now because they're snapping turtles. Now, will a snapping turtle take a kid's finger off? Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to find out. My kids' fingers are, they're like tiny. I got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. 6-year-old can swim, but the 4-year-old can't, and I would like to teach her how to swim in that pond. So today we're going to make a turtle trap. All right, so here's some of the things we're going to need. We're going to need some elbows, 90-degree elbows, and then some PVC, like a big one. I just got a 10-footer from Lowe's. These are 3-inch, by the way. You can use 4-inch, 2-inch. You can use pretty much anywhere from 1 inch up to, I would say 2 inches up to 6 inches. But we're using 3 because we have it on hand. All the stuff I have here, I already had from some other project. Now, these are J-clips. These are for rabbit hutches and just putting metal together. And this is a J-clip tool. So I had these from a rabbit hutch that we put together not too long ago. And then what you're going to need is some hardware cloth. Now we're using 1/2 inch because that's what we use around here. We have some from chicken coops and whatnot, but you can use, for turtles, a decent sized turtle, you can use probably a 2x4, like fencing wire. 2x4, 1x1, 2x2, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1 inch. We're using this because we have it on hand. All right, so I cut mine 22, 22, 17, 17. Now that's the size of this table, and this seems like a good size for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and this is how it's gonna look. Something like that. All right, we're gonna set this aside. We're gonna grab some hardware cloth and we're gonna cut it up. So let me measure this real quick to be sure. how big of a box we need to build around this. So it's 30 inches by 27 roughly. Alright, so that's our first piece. Man, that's pretty deep. I don't know. Yeah, we'll make it that deep. We'll see how it goes. So, number one cut. Got another one. We should do this up and down every 4 inches or so, every 3 inches, something like that. We're going to go about halfway, and then we're going to see about making that bottom out of this versus cutting a whole new piece. If I would have thought about it ahead of time, I would have made it the width at 24 inches, and then we wouldn't have any issues with this kind of things. But I didn't think about it, so now we're improvising. We could have measured this a little bit better, but I think it turned out all right. Now, I do think that this is too tall. So, yeah, we're going to bend some of these in, and we're going to make a bottom out of this. Now, it doesn't have to be a perfectly flat bottom because it doesn't matter, really. So I might just actually take these and just kind of put them together like this. That's probably the best way to do it. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Versus making a bunch of bends, like 90-degree bends, and getting it like a perfectly flat bottom, which would work. The only problem is that this is about 30 inches, let's see, it's about 30 inches wide, so we'd have to actually come down like 15, which would be here, and it would be pretty shallow at that point. I don't want that. So, like I said, what we'll do is we'll just get a couple of these J-clips, and we'll just J-clip it up the best we can, and if we have to cut off any excess, then we'll do that. Otherwise, I'll probably just make the bottom pretty thick. I'm going to take these and actually just bend them out a little bit. That bends pretty easy, actually. Like really easy. Well, if I would have realized it bent that easy, maybe we will make it a perfectly flat bottom. There's our dilemma. Is we'll have a spot in the middle. We'll have to get another piece and do that. But yeah, you know what? I am going to bend this. We got it all done. It's I cut off a little piece of scrap for the centerpiece, and I just put a bunch of J-clips on there to hold it in, and it turned out pretty good. This is about 14 or 15 inches, if I had to guess, deep, which I think is deep enough. I don't want 2 feet because then it's going to get heavy if a bunch of turtles get in there. So if you count from the top, it's 17. So, all right, so here we are a few months later. This thing was a complete failure, and mainly because of these. In my mind, these would float and the turtles would be able to crawl up here and get in. That didn't work out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make something more secure out of like a 2x6. And I'm gonna make this to where the ends come down halfway in the water at an angle, and they're actually gonna be a lot more sturdier and allow these turtles to be able to climb up here, and then whenever they get spooked or want to leave, they jump in here and get stuck. So let's go ahead and do that real quick and test her out. So something like that, about 30 degrees, should be plenty. So it's going to sit on here like this. We just need to figure out a way to secure it to here without poking a hole through this PVC. I was going to use zip ties, but I'm afraid that I don't think they'll hold up so well. Plus I don't have really long zip ties. I'd have to daisy chain them together, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to use, instead of using this, like I said, the sun and the water, I think they'll break over time. I'm just going to use some safety wire. And this will be a lot stronger and just better in general. So I think I'll just drill like a hole here, 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 and here, and kind of just wrap it around that way, around this, on both sides. Okay, we're all wired up. Let's see if she holds. Let's say yes. Okay, so I got some leftover rope from a project. I don't really remember what the project was, but I'm gonna tie these together, and we're gonna use that as our rope to reel it back in. And we'll go out there and throw her in there and see if we can catch any turtles. go. It's kind of awkward and big. It's gonna be hard to actually get it out there without a pole or something. I don't have anything like that on me right now. So what we're gonna do is just we're gonna throw it out there. More than likely it's gonna blow back in, but as the direction of the wind changes, it'll blow back out. It's a floating little thing, so it shouldn't be a problem. So we're not going to sit out here and watch this or leave the camera out here. I doubt they'll get on it today. But as you can see, the wood is under the water, which is what I wanted. So they'll be able to get on there and climb up it. And hopefully it works out. We'll see. We'll check it tomorrow, and hopefully we can have some turtles. Just came up here to pull this out, and guess what? It works. I got 3 of them in there. Small ones, but we're going to take them to the other pond, get rid of them. All right, well, it works finally after a year of messing with it. So we're gonna pull out all the snapping turtles out of here and relocate them somewhere else. We don't eat turtles, so we're not gonna kill these things and eat them. I don't really feel like going through that process. But if you like to eat turtle, why don't you put a recipe down in the comments? Like to see, maybe one day, maybe you can change my mind. I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, if you like watching these videos, hit that like button. Subscribe for if you like listening to chickens go at it. And all right, thanks for watching.